Hey guys, Nitro Z18 Fishing coming at you again. Today is Saturday, February 16th, 2019. Last evening we did an installation video on a product called the Mercury VesselView Mobile. There it is right there. There's the packaging it came in. If you have the module, if you have any questions on how to install it, check out my video. It's very easy, super easy install. Anybody can do it. And if you saw my video last evening, I mentioned that I was going to do another video today to cover all of the features with this module. When I'm talking with people who have this module and or who are thinking about purchasing it, most people are getting it just for, the biggest reason is engine hours. Everybody wants to know how many hours are on their outboard, on their Mercury. So if that's all you want it for, you know, I'm not knocking that by any means. It will certainly serve its purpose and show you your engine hours. You know, it's perfect for that. That's very a basic feature of the module. But this thing does so much more than that. I wanted to make this video and cover all of the features and show everybody what this thing really has to offer, because again, for 150 bucks plus shipping, I really think anybody with a compatible Mercury on their boat, I think honestly you should be looking into this module. It gives you so much information and so many options. It's not even funny. For the price, it is well worth it. Even at full price at $270, I was going to purchase the module. I just kind of got lucky. I didn't purchase it and came across this deal, and I got it for $150. So to connect, I'll show you how we'll connect real quick, and then of course we will get right into the features. So obviously we're in my garage. We're not going to turn the outboard over. You don't have to. All you got to do, turn your motor on. You're going to go into the app that I showed in my installation video. It's just called the VesselView app. You go into your app store, search for Mercury VesselView Mobile, and you'll see it. It's that red square with the Mercury M in the middle. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on Connect on the bottom of the screen. It's going to show my module under Devices. I'm going to click on that. And it takes about 5 to 10 seconds roughly to connect and get to the home screen. So as you can see, it's working there. Okay, so we're on the home screen. So we're all connected here. So let's go ahead and get right into all of the features. I'm going to walk you through every single option this thing has to offer, and show you all of the features and how to customize the screens, how to add information into it, delete information out of it, and we're going to cover just about everything that this module has to offer here. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, here we go. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to show you just about every option this module has to offer. So we are on our home screen. We're connected obviously, as I showed you. So this is the first screen you're going to see. On this screen, let's start up here in the top left hand corner. These three little bars, if you click on them, it's going to bring you to this menu here. As you can see, I'm not going to read them off to you, but you can see what they say. If you click on Saved Profiles, it'll show you your boat, obviously. Z18, I can click on that. It'll just, actually, if I click on that, it's going to tell me I can't do anything because we're connected. You can't edit the profile of the boat while you're connected. So, so let's go back out of here. So that was Saved Profiles. Under Faults, you're going to get two things: Observed Faults and Blocked Faults. Observed faults are faults that happen, let's say you're on the water, you're connected to the module, and something goes wrong with the engine. It's going to show up underneath there. You're also going to get an alert on the screen that something has gone wrong. Blocked faults, I believe, this is the one thing I'm not 100% sure on because I haven't had this on the water yet, but I believe blocked faults, from what I've read, that's going to show you, let's say you're out on the water for a day and you're not connected to the module. I think when you connect under blocked faults, that'll show you if something happened while you were not connected. If I'm wrong, please somebody comment and correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure from what I read, that's what blocked faults is. So that's what you're going to get underneath the faults menu. Under maintenance, this is an awesome tab. I like this. When you click on maintenance, it shows you right here. maintenance due in 66 hours. Well, let's click on that, and it's going to break it down even more. And this screen's pretty cool. It shows you right at the top, my engine hours is 34.4. I've only had the boat 1 season. But underneath it, it shows you 2 columns, inspect and replace. So it shows you a number inside. These green circles mean everything is good. I'm not due for any maintenance. Everything is okay. But in the circles, it tells you how many more hours you have to go until you have to, again, inspect and replace. So this column here, it tells me in 66 more hours, there's a 66 in those circles. As you can see, I have to inspect all of these things here where there's a green circle. Over here, you know, again, replace. So in 66 more hours, at 100 hours total, of course, I'm going to replace the oil and the gear case lube. I actually do that a little more frequently, to be honest with you. This is kind of just a guideline of what Mercury recommends. So you don't have to stick to this, but again, it's just a nice little reminder of what you should be doing and what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. The other cool feature is you can log maintenance. So let's say today we replaced, you know, inspected or replaced whatever we did. You can click on whatever you're going to, I'm not going to do it, of course, because we're not doing any maintenance, but you can click on whatever you're going to do. Click on log maintenance, and it says check items to log. We didn't check on anything because we're not doing it, but you can log all of the maintenance that you're going to perform, and it'll keep a history right down here under history. It'll keep a history of what you've done and when you did it. So again, you can keep track of all of your maintenance right there. So let's back out again to the same menu we were on. So that was maintenance. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing this from, I have the phone right in front of the camera, and I'm off to the side, so I'm having a little, there we go. I'm off to the side, so I'm having a little trouble seeing the screen as good. But anyway, so that was maintenance. Under account and privacy, that just gives you, you know, you can log out, user profile, just gives you your information, preferred dealer. I'll show you that. You know, I have my preferred dealer where I bought the boat, Northeast Marine in Blakely, PA. Dave Antonori is the owner. Awesome guy. Anybody in the area, man, I highly recommend him. He's a good friend of mine as well, not just my dealer, but he will take care of you for sure. Really good guy to buy a boat from. Terms of use, privacy policy, so just some general information. Next tab is help and feedback. You could purchase another module. It gives you some information on stop the spread. Of course, that talks about invasive species. Send feedback. If you're having any trouble, you can send feedback to Mercury. And then frequently asked questions. If you click on that, it'll take you to the VesselViewMobile.com website where all of the frequently asked questions are. So that's that. Underneath the About tab, again, just gives you the app information and the website, VesselViewMobile.com. If I clicked on that, it would take me right to the website. And then, of course, the settings. These are all the things you can change underneath settings. You can see, I'm not going to read them off there, but you can see what they are. So that's just kind of like the main menu over there. Again, on the home screen, those 3 little bars up in the top left-hand corner, that's what you're going to get out of that menu. Let's get to the good stuff. Again, main screen here. What it shows you at the top is the outside temperature and wind. So right now in my area, we have about a 12-mile-per-hour wind, 35 degrees outside. We're in my garage. We're at about 65 in here. My boat is spoiled. I keep it about 65 in here, but it's 35 outside. And then it shows you your heading right there underneath that little boat icon. That boat icon, if you clicked on that, it's just going to show you the Z18 again, just whatever boat is connected to the module. So I'm not going to waste time doing that. So let's get into the features and the options here. Right now you're looking at, as you can see, it's broken into 3 sections. You have the big square here with the RPMs in it, and then fuel down here, and then mile per hour down here. If you click on the RPM block, this is going to take you to where you can customize screens. Let's go back for a second. This home screen is not custom. You can't customize this. This is what you're going to see no matter what when you first connect. But let's say you want to customize a screen and, you know, show only things that you want to see. I've created 2 already last night after I did the install. I labeled this one number 1 because this is probably the screen I'm going to have up most of the time. You can see it shows miles per hour, RPM, my engine hours, coolant temperature, and my battery voltage. My battery's at 14.4 because we're hooked up charging right now. So I'll swipe over to the next screen. This screen, I made my fuel screen. I'll show you how to enter the fuel information in a second. That's on a different section. But this, I made a fuel screen to show how many gallons, you know, my gallons per hour that I'm going to use. And again, I just put engine hours down at the bottom. I'm going to have engine hours on just about every screen. But, you know, I labeled this screen fuel because it's going to give me all my fuel information. Swipe over again. And, oh, I just bumped the camera, I'm sorry. Swipe over again. I left this page blank on purpose just so I can show you how to customize the screen. So obviously we're going to click right in the middle there. These are all different things that you can add to a screen. You can put, let me back up. You can label it whatever you want. So just click in that block there. That's where I labeled it number 1 in fuel. You can write whatever you want in there. So I'll just leave it as my, just to save time. You can add up to 7 of these options on one screen. But the thing to keep in mind here when you're customizing your screens, whatever order you click on them, that's the order it's going to show up from top to bottom. So for example, let's just say for argument's sake, we're going to do engine hours, speed, and battery. Well, battery's all the way up here at the top. Let's say I want engine hours at the top. You're going to click on engine hours first, then I think we said speed, and then battery. Now it's going to show up when we back out of here. It's going to show up in that order that I clicked it in from top to bottom. Engine hours, speed, battery. So keep that in mind when you're customizing a screen. Whatever order you want it to show up in top to bottom, you have to click on that in that order. So let's say you want to delete a page, which we're obviously going to delete this one. I was just using this one for, you know, for demonstration purposes. All you're going to do is go to the page you want to click on. So we're going to go to this page, click on that same 3-bar thing up there, down at the bottom, delete page, yes. So it'll delete that page. You can customize up to 3 different pages. So there's 1, 2, and then now I have a blank because we just deleted that 3rd page that we did. If you scroll over one more time, it just gives you your engine hour, serial number, and blah, blah, blah. The module, you know, identification number, and, you know, just some generic, not generic, but some information on the module in your engine. Okay, so back to the home screen. So that was what you'll get if you click on the RPM square up there. Down here, this is the fuel where you can keep track of your fuel. Let's go in here, and I'm actually going to reset this. Man, I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time doing this because I'm off to the side here of the module. Okay, so let's say you're going to, okay, we're reset back to 0. Let's say your engine's on, your gas tank's on empty, you're headed to the gas station, and you're going to put in 20 gallons. Click on gallon, that little block down there. So this is the screen you're going to see. Total fuel, fuel used, fuel economy, distance to empty, time to empty. The bottom 2 options are only estimated, of course. I think we all would kind of, you know, not really rely on that too heavily anyway. But just to, you know, it actually gives you a little asterisk and tells you at the bottom it's estimated. But these top 3, so again, let's say we're putting in 20 gallons. You're going to click on total fuel, put it up to 20, click on save, and it's going to show you have 20 gallons total fuel in your boat. So as you go to the lake and go throughout the day, it'll show you fuel used, average fuel economy, and then again, it'll give you distance to empty, time to empty, based on what you're using. And again, those bottom 2 are just estimates. So pretty cool little feature just to keep track of your fuel and how much you're using and your fuel economy. So that's what you'll get out of that little square down there. Click over here on the mile per hour section, and this is a pretty neat little feature here as well. It's got a reset button and add a moment button. Let's say you wanted to add a moment. Let's say, you know, this will keep track of your average speed and your peak speed. So everybody's always asking, what's your top speed? What's your top speed? You know, what are you getting out of your motor? What are you getting out of your setup? Blah, blah, blah. You can now let's say we're flying down the lake and, you know, I hit my peak speed. I've hit 66 in this boat under perfect conditions, but I usually run low 60s on a regular basis. But let's say I hit that 66 and I want to show you. What you can do is add a moment, and it'll you know, show you what you had on the screen at that particular time. You can save it, and you could also share it. You could add little notes in here. It gives you the date, the time of when, you know, when you did hit that peak speed. And again, you can save it. share button that you can put it up directly to social media. So pretty cool little feature, because everybody's always asking, you know, again, what are you getting out of your setup? And then of course you could hit that reset button and it'll reset everything. Under hole shot, this is another pretty cool little feature. I really like this one, because again, another thing people are always asking is, how fast are you getting on plane? What's your hole shot? So I'm going to show you underneath hole shot, it says play and leaderboard. If you click on play, it's going to give you a little warning, not to be distracted, of course. And when you click on ready, watch what's going to happen. It gives you a little countdown, and when it says go, you floor it, and it'll give you your hole shot, how fast you're getting up on plane. So again, that's a pretty neat little feature, because in all these forums that I'm in, and you know, all the posts people make, and you know, everybody's always asking peak speed, what are you getting out of your setup, and what's your hole shot, how fast are you getting on plane? Two of the most commonly asked questions. So there you go, you have it right there on screen. You know, so nobody could ever doubt you, because I see people posting some numbers sometimes, and you know, kind of just have to scratch your head a little bit. But you know, here you go, you can keep track of it right here on your screen, you know, connected right to your motor. So, and then of course it has a leaderboard. There's nothing in here, I haven't had it on the water yet, of course, so you can reset it if you wanted to, but you know, it'll have your top 3 you know, hole shots placed right there. So that's what you'll get out of that screen there. And again, that was underneath this little square. Let's go down to the bottom of the screen here. Right now we're clicked on the little tachometer looking thing there you see in red. That's the home screen. If you click on the next icon to the right, that's the mapping screen. This is going to kind of drop a pin in your, basically in right where you are. You know, of course we're all still going to use our graphs for dropping waypoints and things like that, but this just gives you another little option to drop a pin somewhere, you know, wherever you are. As you can see right where I'm at, it dropped a pin right there. The other thing over here, I'm sorry, the next icon here is the plus symbol. We're going to get to that in a second. Next to that is a calendar screen, or I'm sorry, a calendar icon. If you click on that, what this will show you is, when I show you what's in this plus screen, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but the calendar shows you your history. So let's say you took pictures, or you know, your hole shots and all that stuff. That's going to be listed under your history. Mine says no events, again, because I haven't done anything with it. I just installed it last night. But that's what it'll show you. It'll give you all of your events that you've done in the module and in this app on your phone. So again, mine's empty, unfortunately, because we just did the install yesterday, but that's what that'll show you. So again, no events listed. Next screen over here, I'm sorry, not next screen, next icon is this little check mark. If you click on that, this is going to give you your checklist. And this is pretty neat, I thought, as well, because it gives you the option. It has some pre-added checklists in here. So pre-departure, you can go in here and just, you know, gives you a whole bunch of stuff to check before, you know, before you leave the house or before you leave the dock. You know, just things to make sure you have. You can add things to the list. You know, it's just totally customizable, or you can clear it all. And, you know, you can check things off as you're going down the list. So, you know, we did all this, check it off, and boom, 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 right down the list. So, let's go back to equipment is the next checklist that's already pre-added in here for you. So again, just a whole different customizable list of equipment, you know, things you want to, you know, if there's something that you commonly forget while you're going to the lake, throw it in a checklist. And again, all you got to do is click on that little add symbol. You could add anything to this checklist you want. And again, just a little helpful tool to make sure you're not forgetting anything. The winterizing, again, is totally customizable. It's all, you could add, delete, anything you want to do in here. So it just gives you a winterizing checklist. So, and then the aquatic invasive species, again, just tips on how to prevent the spread of that. So if you wanted to add your own checklist, these 4 were pre-added. These, I did not add these. These were on the app already. But if you wanted to add your own checklist, all you're going to do is click right there, label the checklist, whatever you want to label it, save it, and you're going to be able to add whatever you want to add. So again, another awesome little feature on the module that you can do and play with. So let's get to this addition button, the icon right down here in the middle. When you click on that, you're going to get 4 icons that pop up here. The first one is capture a moment. Let's say you're out on the water having fun with the family, or having fun with the kids, or you catch a fish of a lifetime, whatever the case may be. You can take a photo, or if you already have a photo, you can select the photo from your camera roll that's on your phone. It'll label it date and time. You can write comments on it, put tags on it, whatever you want to do. Save it, and let's say we took a new photo. When you click save, it's going to save in that, going back to that calendar icon that was down here at the bottom where I had no events show up. Once you do something like this, it'll show up under your calendar under history of events. So when you do that, when you click save, that's where it'll show up. You could also share it directly to social media, just quick and easy. If you click on share, you'll get this option, Facebook, Messenger. You could text it to somebody, email it to somebody. So right there from the screen. So that's what that icon will do for you. So let's back out. Again, that was the green circle there. The next circle, as you see, is a blue circle with a fish in the middle. That's add a catch. Again, let's say you're out on the water, you catch a fish of a lifetime. Take a photo of it, label the date, the time. You can add what species it is, the size of it. You can write down here, describe your catch, whatever you want to write, the weight, the length, girth, whatever you want to write in there. Let's say you want to get a replica mount and you don't want to forget the numbers. Measure the fish up, release it, put the numbers in here, and click save. And again, it's going to go back underneath that history, so you can go and view it at any time. Again, there's the share button. You could also share it to social media, or text it, email it, whatever you want to do. So that's add catch. That was that little purple fish icon there. Next one is a red marker button. Add location. All of us are basically going to use our graphs for waypoints. That's never going to change. But let's say where I can see this possibly coming into play is, let's say I'm beating a bank, and or if I'm offshore for that matter, it doesn't even really matter. Let's say I'm on a school, or I found something that's really attractive to me. Mark the waypoint in your graphs like you always do, but you could also take a photo in here. And again, let's say we're on a bank and there's a tree right there on the bank. We'll snap not a screenshot, snap a photo of the tree, exactly how you're lined up on the bank, and it'll label it, date, time. You can describe it, so you can write in there, you found a rock pile, or you caught a 5-pound smallie, or whatever you want to write in there. Save it. It'll save the photo, so you can go back and view it. Again, just another feature on the module where we all are going to continue to use our graphs to mark waypoints, but this just gives you another option to mark a waypoint, and on the app itself, and write a little description in there and take a photo. So if you wanted to get your boat lined up exactly like you had it lined up, you can do that. And of course, there's the share button again. I don't think we'll be using the share button too much on this, just because you don't want people beating up your spots. But anyway, you can if you wanted to. So the next option and the last option is this little orange circle there. That's add hazard. You can actually go in and, let's say you're on a body of water and you come across something, whether it be, a stump that's just under the water that nobody knows about or whatever. You can add hazard. You can take a photo if you wanted to, or you can just add the location of the hazard. Here, let me back out of here, actually. I'm sorry. Let me, I got a little ahead of myself there. Down here underneath the date and the time is the select hazard type. If you clicked on that, these are all the options, you can put. So let's say, right there, danger rocks. Let's say you came across a rock, a big rock that's barely under the water, that maybe a lot of guys you might be out in 10 foot of water where, somebody might fly through, not even thinking. Well, you can label danger rock, describe the hazard, save it, and that'll go on to the map, And again, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who's watching this video, but I believe whoever is using this app in these modules, if you are viewing the map location, if you're viewing the map on this app, that, let's say I add this hazard, well, let's say my buddy's out on the same lake the next day and he's using his VesselView mobile and he has the map pulled up on his phone, that hazard that I created, I believe will show up on his module as well. Again, please, if somebody's watching this video, correct me if I'm wrong. From the research I've done, I think that's how that works. If not, it will at least show up on your map. When you save it, it'll be there every time you're on the water, so you can remember exactly where that rock is. You could also share it that share button's on almost every screen in this application with this module. So you can text it, you could post it on Facebook or whatever, just to kind of warn other people about it, email it, whatever you want to do. So just a handy little feature. If you come across something that hazard that people may not know about, I can see that coming into play with, again, things just under the water that maybe you're side scanning and you come across a big tree that's just under the surface out in 12-15 foot of water that you want to label and warn people about. So that's the hazard feature. All of those things that I just showed you, when you create any of these events, the add a catch, add a location, add an event, the hazard, when you click on your calendar, that's where they're going to show up. You could actually just see that the two things that we did just for demonstration purposes showed up right there already. So that's kind of just the rundown of this application. Guys, again, I said it before, I know a lot of people just get this just to kind of keep an eye on engine hours. Everybody wants to know what their engine hours are at for maintenance reasons, or when let's say you're selling your boat and the buyers are going to want to know how many hours are on your engine. Of course you want to keep track, but everything I just showed you, so many different options, and cool little features on this app and this module that you can take advantage of. So I want to show you one last thing real quick, and then we'll end this video here. I know we're at about almost a half hour, so hopefully this isn't getting too long and boring for you guys. But underneath, let's go back on the home screen. If you click on those three little bars that I showed you in the beginning of the video, when you click on about, or I'm sorry, not about, help and feedback, if you click on frequently asked questions, I'm going to do that for you, and I'm going to show you basically everything we just covered is right here, so you can view it. If you can't remember how to do something, or whatever the case may be, all you have to do is click on that frequently asked questions, and it takes you to this where you can scroll through and it shows you literally everything that we basically just covered. So it's always right there at your fingertips. It does use your internet, just keep that in mind. So if you're on the water and you're going to use data to do that, but again, if you click on that frequently asked questions right there, it will cover just about everything that I covered in this video. So as always, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Again, I know this video got a little lengthy. We're at about a half hour here, but I just wanted to go over step by step all of the features this thing has to offer. Talking with people, people really aren't taking advantage of everything this thing has to offer. They're basically just using it for the engine hours and the simple little things like that. So that's everything it does have to offer. Play with it. You can't screw it up, of course. Go in there, add things to it, add events, add catches, play with it and see what it can do on your own. But that's the basic little rundown on how it works. So if you guys have any questions for me that I could help answer, feel free, as always, to comment below. And I always make sure I get back to any comments or questions. On any of my videos, for that matter. It may take me a few days, but I do get back to you. So please feel free to share my videos, subscribe to my YouTube page, as always, Nitro Z18 Fishing. Lots of good content coming up. I'm going to be making another video shortly on my boat setup, and then we're just going to be doing. It's February 16th, so we got about a month and a half until we're able to get on the water. So I'm going to be doing just some little videos here and there on just you know, random fishing topics. So until we can get on the water and then start doing some fun stuff, you know, the good stuff, catching fish and going over things on the water. So as always, thanks so much for watching my videos. Like, share, and subscribe. And let me know if you guys have any questions. So appreciate you guys. Thanks again, and till next time, stay safe on the water.